Hi guys, today we are going to go over states of matter. So again, should be a little bit of review from 7th grade science when you talked about heat, but this is going to come into play a lot in 8th grade as well. So with our states of matter, again, matter is anything that has mass and takes up space by having volume. So everything that's not essentially like energy is going to be matter, anything that has mass and takes up space. Everything in the universe is made of matter. So matter is made up of tiny particles, which can be atoms, molecules, or electrically charged particles called ions. And we'll go more into this when we go into the periodic table unit, difference between an atom and a molecule and what it means if something is an ion. For now, just know everything is made up of stuff. So with our four main states, solid, liquids, gases, and plasma, we are really going to be focused on solids, liquids, and gases. You're not going to be required to know anything about plasma for your tests. So with our solids, so for all of these, we are going to be using words definite and indefinite. Definite means it does not change. It's set. Indefinite means it can change. So when I say a solid has a definite shape, it means its shape does not change. For example, this right here, this is a glass tube. This shape is set. It's not going to change unless I break it in some way and I do some kind of physical change to it. It also has a definite volume. It takes up a certain amount of space. These particles are going to be close together. They're going to be locked in with each other. They're still moving because everything has heat, but they're going to be vibrating in place. With our liquids, liquids have indefinite shapes, but definite volumes. So what that means is my super old iced coffee right here, it takes the shape of its container. It's an indefinite shape. If I took this and I dumped it on my head, the shape would change, but the volume is definite. It would still take up the same amount of space. The shape of the coffee would just be changed. It would be on my head and a puddle on the floor. So it would take up the same amount of space, but it would look different. So liquids have an indefinite shape and a definite volume. They take the shape of their containers. The particles are still close together, but they can flow around each other. With our gases, these guys have indefinite shape and indefinite volume, meaning it's going to take the shape and expand to fill whatever container it's in. So for example, if I released a gas at my desk, it would keep expanding and expanding and expanding and spreading out until it filled the entire classroom. So both the shape and volume are indefinite. These particles are a lot faster and they're a lot further apart than in our other states of matter. So with our plasma, 99.9% of matter in the universe is made of plasma. Plasma also has indefinite shape and volume, but the difference between a gas and a plasma is that plasma has indefinite charge. So most of the plasma is going to be found in stars. That's why such a high percentage of the matter is plasma, because it's what stars are made of. Again, this is not going to be something that's tested on, but this word will come up. So just know the difference between a gas and a plasma. A plasma is similar to a gas that has indefinite shape and indefinite volume, but it also has an electrical charge. So looking at how heat affects our states of matter, that's what causes phase changes. So if you add heat, it'll speed particles up, because remember, temperature is the average kinetic energy of the particles in a substance. Heat adds energy to those particles. They move faster. That temperature rises. That can result in a change of state. As the heat increases, the particles are going to move faster, move further apart. That could go from a solid to a liquid or a liquid to a gas as those particles start to move faster. Opposite, if you take heat away, those particles are going to move slower, they're going to get closer together, and that could result in a change of state in the opposite direction. So either a gas to a liquid or a liquid to a solid. So with this diagram here, these represent the names for what it's called when these different phases turn into the other, these different states of matter turn into the other states of matter. So make sure you have all of these in here, and then you're going to pause here. So you're not going to fill out the table or the questions yet. We'll do that tomorrow when you come to class. Just make sure you're complete up until this phase change diagram, and then we'll go more into this tomorrow.